We're not going to do that today. We are live. Welcome to the Stream of David Live.
Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild and the Stream of David Live. We are just a few minutes late. That's all right.
34 minutes later, so I guess I don't know, but
We're late. We're very, very late. You know what? That's so not true, David. It's not possible to ever be late.
We're right on time. We're right where we're supposed to be. Yeah.
Always.
The Stream of David was very busy today and got really behind and backed up and didn't even get this scheduled the way we were supposed to. But we had just lots of fun, expansive things going on in our business today. So yeah, lots of new things.
Super exciting.
Yeah. So as you all sign on and hit like and share and do all that fun stuff, we're going to do what we do best.
David has got a channel, and we're going to be answering all of your questions today. Anything and everything and all the questions you could ever want. Just bring them. Bring them and bring good ones. Let's talk about some good stuff. Let's talk about, I want to talk to the stream about sacred euphoric Xanadu, sex. I want to talk about sacred sexuality. And is there a difference between that and just body slapping? So, for sure.
Well, that word sacred, what is sacred? What is sacred? Come on, what's sacred?
Okay. Look. Tantric's the thing, right? All right, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they're all just human terms for stuff, and it has the meaning that we give to it. So if we think something is sacred, then therefore it is sacred.
Well, that's just already answered. Now, what about that next?
We didn't have to dial up the stream for that one, right?
Well, gosh, dang it. That was pretty good, though. And not only that, but talking about that leads me into money. Don't ask how they go together.
Sacred money. I love it. Sacred money. Sexual money.
Yeah, sacred, all of it. So here's what.
That's a good title for a book. Sacred Tantric Sexual Money. Somebody write that down for me.
Sacred. Okay, wait a minute.
Sacred Tantric Sexual Money. It's got all the elements of a bestseller.
It really does, because they say, according to everything I've read now, and I have no way of actually proving this, but they say that is the best way to manifest anything that you want, because it's the highest vibration that you can be at. It's pure bliss, which is the point of me asking this very real serious question. You see, because they're dying. They're rolling. Raise the vibration. This is how you raise the vibration right here, right now. If anybody's ever curious. And I need this right now. Thump, thump.
Well, we both got on. We're both really busy, which is good. It's good to be busy. Totally. And we had to come on late because of me primarily. And then Debbie and I jump on, and we're both like, so tired, and I thought, I'm going to go to an espresso. And I did, my little espresso cup here. I went and got a shot of espresso, a little shot of caffeine, because the stream needs caffeine apparently to or I need the stream to do it. And I told Debbie, I said, I went in there, and while the espresso machine heated up, I ran laps around the kitchen island in my slippers, of course, and that's because that's what I work in all day long. And I realized how out of shape I am running laps around the island. But, wow, I used to be in really good shape. I could run around the block, no problem. And now running around the island, I'm a little tired. And so I'm coming back with my espresso, kind of laughing and panting. And saying, I just went around the island. The dog just looked at me like I was nuts. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, yeah, she's just like, why are you doing that? What is the point? Yeah, the dog, seriously. They've gotten into COVID.
If she's not in the mood, she's very moody. If she's in a playful mood, she's great. But if she's not, she's just looking up like, what? What are you doing?
She's hilarious anyway. But okay, so David, so what do we need to do with ourselves when we huff and puff? Besides blow a house down.
What do you mean? We huff and puff? It means we need to get in shape. It means I need to get my elliptical, my gym built, and my elliptical machine and my weight bench out there and get all that done and get back in shape. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm liking that. That's a really great idea. But really,
somebody referred to me as the Caucasian Buddha the other day. I started laughing. I said, I think you're just calling me fat, but bald, but that's okay. But that's pretty cool. I could go with that angle, and then I could just eat pancakes all day long if I want to. But I also want to be able to move. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Maybe that's it. It doesn't really matter. You get to do. You just Buddha nature does not mean Buddha ass. Just say it.
Yeah. Well, look at my little Buddha here. He's pretty happy.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna kill a belly. Well, you
Yeah,
know,
you're not going to see me in that position anytime soon. No. So, Caucasian Buddha, I love it. Right.
the
So,
Caucasian Buddha. I'm dying. I just
yeah. So
you do not look like the Caucasian Buddha.
I don't care if somebody calls. It's fine. I'm actually made very peace with everything that is. That's the thing. It's to love whatever is, whatever vibe you're flowing through, whatever experience that you're manifesting in your life is to love that for the period that you're in without human judgment. We
Yep.
we we sprinkle judgment on everything.
Like, oh yeah, it's just like shit sprinkles all day long. Psh, here you
Yeah,
go,
you're Debbie G, you're
judgment.
Debbie Gratitude, and I'm going to become David No Judgment. That doesn't roll off like Debbie Gratitude, but we're going to figure out a way.
Well, that is the way. Actually, you can't be in
David No
judgment.
Judgment or Caucasian Buddha, you pick. I don't care.
Yeah, neither. No, those
Yeah,
don't work.
I even trademarked the Stream of David. It's too late to be called the Caucasian Buddha. I think.
No,
I
you
think the
are the.
Stream of David is what it is. So
Yeah, I'm thinking so. You guys get those questions rolling out, baby. Let's get them. Let's get them. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing, right, Kim? Yeah,
yeah.
Joe.
So
It's not horrible.
hi everybody. Good to see a lot of familiar faces on here. Always good to see boot campers. Leanna, good to see you again. Steve Weber, body shaping, money making, sacred intentions. Love it. So, and I did write that down. Sacred tantric sexual money. My next book by the Stream.
Shit.
Everything you want in one title.
Well, that is everything everybody wants. Let's think about it. I'm guessing what was on the mind of most people when you're just in your 3 day. I mean, I think those are two of your main subjects. Seriously. And we're constantly seeking to perfect both. Or in my case, I just
Manifest both. I don't know about perfecting it, but just manifest the experience of it. Yeah.
manifest things. Yeah. That
Yeah.
works a lot better.
So anyone that has peace and blessings, I think I know who that is. Anybody that has questions for the stream, we are going to bring the stream in. I apologize for being late. It was totally my fault that we were late. I just got so backed up. I actually was enthralled in a deep conversation with someone that was supposed to be a 15-minute interaction that turned into a 60-minute interaction. I love it when that happens. That serendipity, you meet somebody you feel like you've known forever. And that happened less than an hour ago, or a little more than an hour ago at this point. So I didn't even have this post put up yet for this interaction that we're having. But here we are, and we're all here, and you've all got questions. We're going to bring the stream in a minute. Debbie and I have certainly done a good job raising our vibration, laughing at my my run around the island while the while the espresso machine heated up. I've had my espresso now. I'm going to follow it up with my lovely club soda, my generic club soda, which is like my favorite thing to drink these days. And we'll get going in just a moment. So you were talking about tantric sex before we started jumping into playing with that idea.
Yeah.
So what do you know about that?
Not a whole lot. I'm learning. Well, I'm not learning actually, like I'm reading. I will be learning. What do I know about it? That it is a space where you're really exchanging your focusing intention and energy. So it's really about going to a heightened level of awareness while you're connecting and not actually having sex, but yet just connecting the energy together. That could be locked eyes, getting into rhythmic breathing together, or even using your tone of your voice in an om or a or that kind of thing, and you match uh, that vibrato with each other, and that is, I don't know, try it with your partner, David. Let me know if it works. Sit across from each other. I'll send you a video. You can let me know, and then we'll
I kind of know. I kind of already know some things about it. Know what it is. I was just kind of wanting to for you to bring some conversational awareness to the audience. And there's probably people in the audience that know a lot more about it than we do, certainly. But it really is about raising your vibration in unison with someone else, and allowing your source connection to intertwine with the source connection of another being.
Yes, exactly. And that is really it. But it's also not giving into the animalistic part of ourselves. Okay, so this is really going into a space, my understanding, of of pure energy oneness. Now, I haven't actually ever experienced this. I have interviewed people, David, that live this way. Like, this is not, I mean, and it's a heightened sexual awareness, but it's sensuality tapping into your sacral chakra, which is part of what we are and who we are as part of our intuition. The reason that they say that we can manifest at a higher level is because it truly is the highest vibration that we're at, because we are at one completely. We're not, nobody is having an orgasm and thinking about taking the dog out at the same time, at least not that I'm aware of. Okay, and I think that this is important because that's that state of bliss that we're all looking to achieve. So what if you're doing this with another person, or what if you are able to just achieve living in that state of bliss, because you've learned how to tap into your sensuality, your sacral chakra, really allowing that intuitive force inside of you to come out. You know, that's what I'm thinking. That
Yeah, somebody, and some of these don't give us your name. Sometimes, if you haven't registered on here, it just says Facebook user, opening your Kundalini energy together. Um,
that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny that energy awakening experience. I didn't even know what it was when I had it. Had no idea what was going on. It was just I was meditating and suddenly had this massive eruption from the base of my spine that just moved and electrified through my body. And since that time, it hasn't stopped. It certainly changes with my vibration, and I can certainly amp it up and get into a super high vibrational place through my version of meditation. And in doing so, really experience that, which is amazing. But experiencing that in unison with another human being, I have not done.
I haven't either. I think I thought I was close, but I'm looking for like Bruce Almighty right now. Okay. Like, did you ever see Bruce Almighty?
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey, there's this part of the movie with Jennifer Aniston, right? And he's literally he's focusing his energy from across the room. Anyway, you have to watch it and see it to know what I'm talking about. It's not a plug for Bruce Almighty. It's a plug for Bruce Almighty being able to send orgasms from across the room.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
oh, it is hilarious. But yeah, so when I say I'm looking for Bruce Almighty, yeah, skill, man. Get that. You got that energy. You know how to work that energy. But it is literally just energy we're talking about.
We are probably having the conversation that Kat Wonders wanted to have with me on the podcast that we just put up, the Big Sex Talk. And
Yeah.
that went into fidelity and the idea of cheating and human
Oh,
construct
you want to talk about that? Well, we
relationships
can talk about that right
and
now.
all that stuff. No. Go
Oh,
listen to the Stream of
yeah.
David podcast. It was just out there.
Oh,
And when
geez.
we got finished with the podcast, Kat said something to the effect of, I really wanted just to talk about sex. And somehow we got into this talk about fidelity and humanity's idea of monogamy and all this stuff. And that's what the podcast this week is about. So if you haven't heard the new Stream of David podcast, it's called The Big Sex Talk with Kat. Go check that out after you interact with us over the next 30, 40 minutes here and ask lots of good questions of the stream so that we have a fantastic interaction, or continue to do so. Go check the podcast out.
I love this. David, I'm going to promise you that this is something going on in the entire collective. The entire collective knows it too. Y'all have been sitting around thinking about this. Now, wait a minute. What I was taught or wasn't taught about sacred euphoric Xanadu might not be right. There might be more to it. Can you imagine that? There might be more to it. And I'm going to agree that now that's an entirely different show. We're going to go ahead and channel though, because we've got questions. And y'all know that the money mindset's coming. You're bringing that out, yeah?
Yeah, it launches this week. Taya Money Mindset launches this week. So thank you for reminding me of that. But yes, Taya Money Mindset is launching this week. And we have some people in here that were in our beta Taya Money Mindset that had some nice experiences in there. So maybe they'll share some of that. But that's not what this is about. This is about channeling the stream. So we are going to bring the stream in, and you can ask anything that you want. I see some questions already popping up. I'm trying not to read them right now. Debbie will read your questions. The stream will answer them. If you haven't watched the show before, my name is David Strickle. I channel Source Consciousness, known as the Stream of David. When I am channeling it, you're aware that I'm channeling it. And in Taya Money, TYA, Trust Your Abundance. Taya is a set of teachings based on the stream's teachings. So you're going to experience the stream now. I'm going to channel the stream. They're going to answer questions. But over the years, we have taken the stream's teachings and set up a spiritual mindset practice that is the practical application of the stream's teachings. And we have a boot camp program called Taya Boot Camp. Debbie is a graduate of that. Sorry, I talked to Carrie all day long. Debbie is a graduate of the Taya program, and she is a mentor in that program. Taya Boot Camp is a big life transformation program. A lot of people just want to manifest money. And so Taya Boot Camp is much bigger than that. Taya Boot Camp is spiritual awakening, healing the past, building a foundational practice for your life that is a new operating system for your life. It is a big, big deal. And not everybody's just ready for that. So we created something that is a smaller program that is really just focused on making peace with wealth and making peace with the manifestation of wealth. There's no judgment. Wealth is not good, nor is it bad. It is understanding that it's energetic, as everything is, and applying the Taya mindset practice specifically toward the manifestation of money. So if money is an issue for you and you want to solve that issue, then Taya Money Mindset is all about that. And you can check that out. We'll tell you all about that later. And there are some people in here that are that have taken it that can attest to it. But what we're doing now is bringing the stream in. And Debbie's telling me to go away so that the stream can come in. So what we do in this part of the show, I bring the stream in. We all meditate together. You have a moment of silence where I bring them in, and I invite everybody to take that moment to meditate with us. Quiet your mind wherever you are, even if you're watching this in the future. This is a recording that lives on forever. So take the time to meditate, set a positive intention, raise your vibration to have a fantastic interaction with the stream. And that will be your reality in this interaction. The stream will answer any questions. The only limitations, as always, my intellect. I need to understand what you're saying, my vocabulary, because it is coming through me, even though I'm semi-present for it at best, as Debbie will say. Yeah, Debbie called me a trance channel one time, and I didn't even know what the hell that was. And I've been channeling already for many years by the time she said that. I'm like, I've never
it's what he's doing. It's what he's doing, everybody. He's trance channeling.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right.
We are here.
Wonderful. And we are ready to get going. We're going to start with Steve Weber. He says, I had my first Akashic record reading recently, and it resonated as truth. What does the stream say about the Akashic records?
The idea of someone being able to tap into your energetic field and read you and read beyond your physical reality is absolutely possible. Where we want to take you with this, however, is this idea that everything that's ever happened and everything that's ever going to happen is happening simultaneously is true, but it's not the same thing as everything that's going to manifest in your physical human experience is absolutely set in stone, and you are just going through the motions of experiencing it. So in allowing someone else to quote unquote read you, we guide you to be in alignment or not as your preference with what is being offered, but understand that what lies ahead for you is always up to you, because there are infinite possibilities. There are infinite versions of that, so infinite that no human being could possibly begin to comprehend that. So you are the one that's crafting what's next in your path. And though it already exists, there are endless variations of that. There are endless possibilities in what can occur for you in your path. In fact, that's why you are expressing yourself in physical. You are coming into a physical expression, that which you consider planet Earth, humanity, experiencing linear time, things of this nature, and you are creating this experience for yourself, and you are recreating it infinitely. And that is perhaps difficult to wrap your mind around in your human consciousness, because you are singularly focused, and you are focused in linear time, and you are perceiving life as you were born, you move through life, you return to your completed state, and that is your life experience. However, what is next, and what is next, and what is next, and what is next are indeed endless possibilities that are all in existence. And anything that you conjure up with your imagination is your creation of what's next. Understand that while many of you refer to our energy as source, and you all have access to our energy, you have your own version of this, we are not the true creators of physical. You are the creators of physical. Your individual expressions of that which we are, expressing yourselves as independent beings in this physical environment, one of endless physical environments. You are here crafting the expansion of the universe, the expansion of all that is. And you are crafting that expansion by overriding a more and more sophisticated version. You are experiencing this as linear time, and you understand that your linear time experience is a reflection of your eternal experience. And you see that humanity is becoming a more and more sophisticated version of humanity. Your technology is increasing. Your awareness of the energetic realm is evolving. You are letting go of belief systems of the past that were social engineered constructs to bring humanity along the path to where you are now, and you are shedding your need of that, and that is creating this ascension that you are all very aware of. And in this ascension, you are all becoming aware of more the things that are considered esoteric, things that are considered spiritual, perhaps beyond just your physical realm. And in doing that and exploring that, you have these human constructs. That which you call Akashic records are that. They're a human construct to better understand the energetic realm. They are not fake. They are not real. They are a human construct. And in your believing in them, you are making them real for you. This idea of black and white, something being right or wrong, those are all aspects of a polarized physical environment. The energetic realm does not operate that way. There is no right or wrong. There is no up or down, left or right where we reside. We are very much guiding you to zoom out to the perspective that we are offering you, because you all have the ability to do that. You've been told that you do not, but you do. You all have the ability to zoom out to a very high perspective where there is no fear, there is no judgment, there is no pain, there is none of those things. And then take that awareness and zoom back into your 3D physical reality, and understand that you can operate your 3D physical reality from a much higher perspective than you have been led to believe in your current environment. And many of you are finding yourselves aligned with these teachings because you are coming to understand that to a higher and higher degree. And when you find your path to these teachings, you start exploring these different ideas, dig into them, explore them, take the ones that work for you in your expansion and in your journey, and make them yours. You are free to use any human created tools that you want, but understand that you do not need any human created tools. They are theirs. They're there as your creation to use, but you do not need them. You can go on a self-exploration journey, and you can delve into these different things and learn from them and expand from them. But allowing another human being to dictate to you what something might be in your future and you allowing that to create your reality for you, you are giving away your true creative power. Be inspired by it if you so choose, but understand that the one who is reading your future for you is reading one version of your future for you that is very much clouded by their own desire for you. There may be benevolence in those teachings and those offerings, but it is up to you whether you manifest that for you or not. Always. It is always your choice in physical what's next for you.
Thank you. I think that it's normal. I think humans are always seeking for confirmation, if you will, or are they doing what they're supposed to be doing here? And I think that's why we all seek out these different types of experiences where somebody can maybe give confirmation. But the thing I get a little concerned about, and maybe you can clarify more about this, is when we're told that something is. You've got this attached to you from this here, and you've got this fractal piece out here, and you definitely have this here, and you now need to do this in order to solve the problem. How true is that? How do people really know?
It is as true as you wish to make it. If you, for lack of a better term, if you buy into to what is being offered, and you follow the prescription that is being offered in the belief system that you are going to improve your state of being in the following the prescription, you can make that your reality. That's why we are stating that we are not judging any of this. We are not telling you to not go and consult these people that offer these things at all. There is no judgment around that whatsoever. We are simply stating that you are always the ones that are the creators of your bubble of reality via your beliefs. And your beliefs are very much shaped by your reaction to everything that you've experienced in physical thus far in your linear life experience. And the what's next tends to be very much based on what was. But the way you really shift your reality and change your lives, if that's what you wish to do, and many of you have aspects of your lives that you want to improve and change. You're all expansive beings. It's certainly natural for you to desire these things. And there are other aspects that you like and appreciate very much that you want to keep. You get to choose these things. You get to choose what you keep active, and you ultimately get to choose what you change. And the path to breaking these patterns is about changing your belief system. And in changing your belief system, if you need an external person or an external entity to guide you to change your belief system, that also is part of your belief system. So that guidance will indeed work as long as you are allowing it. It is all about your allowing or not. And if you are having an experience such as having your records read by another, and the information that was offered resonates so highly, and you find an expansive path in following the guidance that is offered, then that is the correct path for you if that is your choice and it is in alignment with your beliefs. The thing that goes against your belief system is more of an uphill climb for you, because you're trying to change a belief system that is very counter to everything that you've bought into so far, and try to change a belief system based on someone trying to perhaps force an idea upon you. And there are providers out there that are reading you very accurately and then giving you a version of you that is very positive and very expansive. The prescription, in their opinion, of what is good for you, and via the power of suggestion, leading you down a path that they believe is good for you. And if you are in agreement with that and choose that path, that is part of your experience that you're manifesting. There's no right or wrong in any of this. There's no getting this wrong. We are never going to come into one of these interactions and say, you should not do this. This is wrong. This is bad for you. We are judging against this. We do not operate that way. We observe and delight of anything and everything that humanity creates. Because from our perspective, there is no negative in any of this. The things that humanity often considers negative serve the purpose of inspiring new positive growth. That new positive growth, that new creation that you all craft from your experiencing unwanted things and then shifting your focus to wanted things and manifesting them, and you all do it all the time. It's how your entire environment was created and continues to be expanded. But very often you flip on the news or flip through social media and you believe that the world is broken, and you believe that humanity is evil or something of that nature. We are not seeing any of you that way. We are seeing all of you as creative beings having an expansive experience that you very much came here for.
I really, really appreciated that. Thank you. And I love that because we can dive into our curiosity happily. So, and I'll just go ahead and leave with this next question, and then I'll go back to a couple that were previously asked. But what are some good examples of human created tools?
Everything in your environment. The very simple answer is that everything that humanity has created, including humanity has evolved with the Earth environment. The vibration of humanity and the vibration of planet Earth and the vibration of all other beings that are part of the environment are all of one. And so this experience in physical that is a projection of that which we are is your creation, and everything that you have created in it is a tool for expansion. But delving into the vibration of the question, wanting to know the earthly tools for your alignment with our energy, the greatest earthly tool that you have to align with our energy is a quiet and peaceful mind, because our energy is already present within you. You are an expression of that which we are. We are not something that you have to go and seek external from yourself. We are not something that you have to buy. We are not something that you need a trinket or a token or anything of that nature to use to align with. There is nothing wrong with any of your tools, but the greatest tool that you have is your own being. Your connection is a natural state of being. We have stated before that you can be locked in a padded cell in a straitjacket and manifest your path out of it. Your creative mind is the most powerful tool that you have. And quieting that mind down and allowing your natural connection to our energy to be realized is a powerful thing. And that high vibrational state, the wonderment that flows from that, when you raise your vibration through a quieted mind, and we are not speaking of spending your earthly time in meditation. We are speaking of a mind that is trustful of the universal process of creation, a mind that is appreciative of all that you have manifested in your individual bubbles of reality, including the things that you created specifically and the things that are created around you. Natural and what you consider human made. Appreciate all of it. Always be looking for things to appreciate. Looking for things to appreciate connects you to our energy, because we have nothing but appreciation for all that you are. So when you are in a state of appreciation, you are allowing our energy to flow to you. You are receiving your own version of this. So the most powerful tools that you have, you already have.
Wow. That was absolutely extraordinary. We already have them. And I love that. That was pretty simplistic. I think it's safe to consider we like to overcomplicate. So going into this, let's see. We're going to pick another great question here. Do-do-do. So how do we connect with energy of someone who has transitioned? Is that channeling, and how can one begin to channel?
You are all receivers of what you would call source. You are all receivers of your eternal selves, because you are all in the embodiment of your eternal selves. You are in a physical vehicle, if you will, to have this physical experience. But you are all aware that you are more than that. Your persona, your being is more than that. You refer to this as your soul. Your soul is eternal. Your human consciousness is essentially your ego. Your ego is not a bad thing. Your ego is the thing that is allowing you to have your human experience. There is no releasing your ego as long as you are alive. The path to allowing your own channeling, if you will, is exactly what we were describing in your allowing our energy to flow through you and to you because it is already there, but be realized by you in a quietened mind or in a state of appreciation or even in low thought activities. When your intuition drops in, when you're doing something that takes your thought down to a specific activity that you do regularly, that you do not need to overthink to do, notice how ideas pop in. Notice how you relax in these moments. That is your connection to us. As far as is what you consider channeling, as far as possessing the level of detailed information and speaking it in such a way that you are experiencing it via David and via others, that is not the path for all of you. But that does not mean that you do not all have access to your own clarity, because you do.
Wonderful. Okay. So we're going to go into now unpacking something that can be pretty sensitive for people. So I'm going to say two. Actually, I'm going to two questions because they're both wrapped up in the same, really. We have Shar asking about what about the bad things people do? Murder, rape, pedophilia. Those can't expand growth. Into Kim saying, well, what do you think about soul contracts? That we come here with a plan, even though so-called bad people have come here doing what they're doing. However, are they doing this because of love that they have for us? So I'll just leave it at that. And here we go.
The humanity's understanding of what you consider good and evil, we will begin by stating that we very much understand that perspective. There are things that you experience as human beings that you do not want to be. You are discerners of preference, and you are not all here on the same path. This is what we were expressing in the idea of all of you being channels on the same level that you are experiencing in this interaction. You are not all on that journey, and there is nothing wrong with that. Yet you all have your own connection. But vibrational flow is something that we guide all of you to delve deeper into. So when you begin understanding vibrational flow and understanding the true value of high and that which you consider low vibration, then you can start to wrap your minds around that which you consider evil. At face value of our teachings, you tune into interactions such as this, and you hear us share that we are not judging anything that humanity does. The reason that we are not judging anything that humanity does is because we understand very well your eternal nature. We understand very well that you are here having an experience as a human being that is a blip in comparison to all that you are, and that there's nothing going on your planet that could possibly ever end your eternal nature. And when you allow yourselves to zoom out to that perspective, instead of being down in your human perspective, and we are not saying down as in we are up and you are down, we are guiding you to understand that you are the universe. So think of yourselves as the entire universe, and then think of your planet as a little speck, and then see yourselves in the expression that you are experiencing as a little speck. And understand that this time that you're spending as a human being, regardless of how many years you move through in linear time, this time is very brief in comparison. So when you start thinking of the wholeness of what you are and the wholeness of what every being on your planet is, there is nothing going on here that carries the weight that you see as a human being. It is small, it is temporary. Think of yourselves looking at an ant farm, and something happens to one of the ants, and it doesn't seem so monumental to you as it would if something happened to one of your loved ones. Yet perhaps to the ants, it is monumental. But you are looking from a different perspective. So in asking these questions, the simplistic answer of there is no right or wrong may fall flat for you, because you have all been told that there is a judgmental being in the sky that is the ultimate decider of all things and the ultimate creator, and despises evil and loves good. But then you turn right around and wonder why that creative power is allowing evil in the first place. Because the evil is the human creation of ego. There is contrast on all topics in a physical environment, meaning there is good and bad on every single topic. You can find good and bad in everything. That is because of vibrational flow, and that is because of polarity. You are in a polarized environment. You are moving up, you're moving down. You are all aware of this. You are all aware that your vibration goes up. You feel good. You are trusting. You are believing. You are loving life. Things are going well for you. And then the very next day, perhaps, or the next year, or the next decade, things go down. Life isn't as good. You're not as positive. You're not as hopeful. Life doesn't seem as easy, doesn't seem as bright. Perhaps you place yourselves in these prolonged periods. This is all vibrational work that perhaps you're not even aware of. But when beings are operating from lower vibration, they possess the ability to do harm to one another in endless ways, as you have seen. That harm actually will ultimately spring forth as something positive. But when you're thinking in linear terms, and you are thinking in someone that ends someone else's life as ending that which they are, of course you're going to view that as an evil thing. But notice that humanity's viewing that as evil has yet to solve it. The viewing it as evil and simply labeling as evil, that these people are evil. The ones who do this are evil. This is an evil act. It is a terrible thing. And the ones that they are doing it to are victims and did not deserve it and could not possibly have manifested it. That is a merry-go-round of victimhood. That is a merry-go-round of just evil for the sake of evil. That is a merry-go-round of why does Source not swoop in and solve this, or whatever entity or whatever identity you give to Source. And there's little understanding there, and there's little healing there. The true power to transcend all of that is to understand that you all go up and down your spiral. And when you're down, you say and do things that are low vibration. All of you, every single one of you, certainly to varying degrees. Some of you go down your spiral and say things you don't mean. Some of you go down your spiral and have accidents. Some of you go down your spiral and cause financial problems. Some of you go down your spiral and beat yourselves up emotionally. Others go down their spiral and turn that toward others. And many of you view that and do not want it. Do not want it to be for humanity, for the ones who are being the quote unquote victims of it, and all of that. And we understand that very well. But there is no movement away from that as long as humanity is simply stopping at the very rudimentary understanding of that is evil, it is bad, we do not want it. That is only step one. The next step for humanity is having a deeper understanding of positive and negative, a deeper understanding of vibrational flow, a deeper understanding of why some human beings act out in harmful ways to other human beings. And instead of slapping the label of monster on them and leaving it at that, which solves nothing, go into a deeper understanding of good and evil, a deeper understanding of egocentric behavior, a deeper understanding of vibrational flow, and understand that all of these things that are of low vibration only exist to inspire positive growth. Perhaps not on your timeline, but ultimately, positive always prevails. There is always something positive springing forth from every negative act. Sometimes you tire of viewing the negative of it. You turn your attention away from it and do not appreciate the vibrational flow and the nature of humanity enough to stick with something long enough to understand the positive that springs forth. But as our promise to you, ultimately, positive does spring forth.
Beautiful. So go ahead and please give us your feedback and what you have coming through for you, what resonates and what doesn't. So
there was another question woven. There were two very different questions woven into that one question. One was about good and evil. And if you're listening to our teachings, we guide you to listen more and more and more and start weaving these teachings together to understand what we are expressing when we speak to good and evil, when we speak to non-judgment. The non-judgment of Source is not about allowing what you consider negative, unwanted things to run wild on your planet. It is actually the recipe for solving them that is offered nowhere else. We are not speaking of this specific interaction, but nowhere else beyond the idea of removing fear and judgment from the equation and viewing things from a much higher perspective, and then pulling that higher perspective back into your human reality. The idea of a soul contract is the other thing that we very much want to address. Again, this is a human-created term, a tool to understand, just as an Akashic record is a human-created tool of ego, of humanity. There are no words in the energetic realm. So any words that you utilize as human beings were your creation. We are utilizing David's vocabulary in this interaction. We are utilizing his version of the English language in this interaction. We make up words. David's team has created a glossary of words that we have made up to communicate with you in a way that you can understand it as human beings, and then pull our communication into your lives. We always guide you to experiment with all of our teachings, prove them to yourselves. We are not here asking you to take everything that we offer at face value. Take our guidance, apply it to your life, and see what happens. But the idea of a soul contract is very much rooted in the idea that your soul planned out the specific human experience for you, and you are here going through the motions of that. The vibration of that definition is something that we wish to address. The soul contract is the soul's desire to come to, in the case of this interaction, planet Earth and humanity, and have a contrasting experience. The soul's desire is to come and have positive and negative experiences in physical, as a physical being with an ego consciousness that overshadows the eternal consciousness, so that you can have the physical experience. If you bring all of your awareness into your physical and do not allow the overshadowing as an ego consciousness, you have too much knowledge and too much awareness, and finding your paths through your contrast to these teachings and to your own utilization of them is your expansive journey as a physical being. And we are here to tell you it's all your choice in physical. That is why you are seeking expansive knowledge through interactions such as this. This is why you are seeking healing. This is why you are seeking understanding vibrational flow and abundance and all of these words that you all love so much. Your paths to a deeper understanding of all that you are, your paths to a deeper understanding of joy in physical, in your human experience, in your now. And you all came to wade through the contrast of humanity to find your paths one way or another, or not, and have the experience that you are having. That is your soul contract, was to come and experience physical in an ego consciousness, in an imperfect environment, and observe things that you like and observe things that you do not. Discern your preferences and find your way through it, and expand your being eternally in the experience. That is why you come to planet Earth. That is why you are human. Not to come and move through the motions of some pre-planned experience. You are creating what's next. You are creating your experience. The ego consciousness collectively of humanity and all other consciousness that comprise your environment of planet Earth and on from there are creating the physical experience. And the creation of the physical experience and the experiencing of unwanted things and finding a path through solving that creates expansion for humanity and creates expansion eternally for all that is. That's what creates and expands the entire universe. That's why you're here, for the negative as much as the positive, because you all possess the ability to move through what you consider negative and find the light in it. Every time, every time, every time. David works with people in his programs that have experienced the most unimaginable things that human beings label. The death of a child, terminal illness, things of this nature. And there is a light available in all of it. All of it. Working with people who have been abused in multiple ways from early childhood. There is expansion and light available in all of that. And when you get that, you have truly expanded as a human being, but more importantly, you have truly significantly expanded as a strand of soul consciousness. And it is your desire to move more and more and more energetically into what we have labeled the core of source, where we reside, the most powerful creative entity in the universe. You are all part of it. And in your experiencing these physical expressions and moving through your contrast, meaning moving through your positive experiences that you enjoy and your negative experiences that challenge you, and finding your path back to the light through that is your expansion into the core of source, which expands that which we are, which creates and expands the universe eternally. That's why you come to physical. That's why the way we describe in very human terms, those souls who are seeking the greatest degree of contrast are the souls that are seeking the greatest degree of expansion, the potential for expansion. Notice that the stories that you all resonate with the most, this is very important. Notice that the stories that resonate the most with each and every one of you are stories of triumph through adversity. Every time, every time, every time. Because that's why you're here and you all know it.
Wow. That was beautiful. So go ahead and give us your comments. I'm going to ask one last question because I think this one is really important right now. So hopefully you're still watching. It just says Facebook user. Any advice for someone who's recently made a decision that has left a large void in their life, and they're wondering now how to fill it?
We will. The question is rather general, and we will be somewhat general in our answer, understanding that every experience that you craft as a human being is your creation. Every experience. We very much understand that very often you are not aware of how you could possibly craft certain things. Being abused as a child, being abused as an adult, being around people who treat you poorly. The claiming of ownership of those things is not the way of your world. You have all been taught that you are victims. You have all been taught that this has nothing to do with you and that it's something that is thrusted upon you. We are not here to share that is your own personal creation so that you go from this teaching and beat yourselves up about that or try to figure out how you could have possibly manifested such a thing. There is little value in the how at this stage if this is new to you. The value is in the claiming of the ownership, because when you claim the ownership of your life experience, then you claim your power to create it more in your favor, more in your liking as you move forward. So whatever you've crafted for yourself up until your now, you can reshape from this left a void. This was a horrible experience. This was something that you did not like. This was something you did not want. This is someone that you're missing. This is something that you wish you could go back to the way that it was. We are guiding you to find a path to appreciating everything that you have created, whether you understand how you could have possibly played a role in creating it or not. That is not as important. But find appreciation for the experience that you have survived. Find appreciation for the experience that you've had in it. Find appreciation for whatever you're experiencing in your now. Because finding appreciation detunes the negative aspects of it. Because as long as you are focused on the negative aspect of something, you are keeping it alive. When you are in a relationship or a job or a financial situation or a body or a state of health that you do not like, and you are thinking over and over and over again how much you do not like it, you are feeding it. You are keeping it alive, and you are keeping more of it coming. And you all have evidence of this in your lives. You all have things that you label toxic. You all have things that you label unwanted. You all have things that you label in a negative way that tend to hang around. And as they hang around, the more you focus on that, the more you get of it. And when you learn to change the script, when you learn to change the narrative around that unwanted thing to one of simply appreciating it for what it is, finding things to appreciate about it, finding the light. There's contrast on all topics, so therefore there is positive to be found in everything. Sometimes you really have to dig, and sometimes it is your life's journey to do the work to find the positive in something. But utilize the tool of simply finding appreciation for it in a very light way and see how it eases up for you. And then move into appreciating whatever experience that you've had. Notice that there are endless coaches and teachers in your environment who are all sharing the very painful journey that they endured to become the teacher or the coach that they are, to become the perhaps inspiration that they are. They all have those stories. They all have that common thing. There are very few teachers that are out there saying their lives have been absolutely perfect. They have been privileged. They have received everything they ever wanted, and they're here to show you how to do it too. They are not teaching from that perspective. They are not offering much from that perspective. They are offering far more from the perspective of, I went through pain and now I solved it, and I'm going to show you how to solve it as well. That is the value in the experience. So when you're in the middle of the painful experience, it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. But that light is available. And that light is not available in the hating the experience and the demonizing the experience and the focusing on the transgressor of the experience. We understand it is the way of your world, but notice how the way of your world tends to keep negative things hanging around. The path to moving through these things is to be very radical in your thinking and find a path to appreciating them, because that releases them. And then you claim your power to create differently moving forward. And then you are creating what's next for you. You are creating more expansion for yourself. You are rewriting the script. You are pleasing your soul consciousness being in the expansion that you've created, because you're not buying into that human idea that you are the victim, you are powerless, there's nothing you can do, it's a horrible situation, everyone around you is toxic, it has nothing to do with you, it has everything to do with them, and you just have to endure it. There is no expansion offered in that. And notice that there are many that are holding themselves there, but there are some that are not. There are some that are moving through these experiences in appreciation, ultimately finding some path to healing their way out of it, and then moving through it, and then looking back and understanding the value that was offered in that unwanted experience.
We have about 1 minute left, but let's talk about what does it look like to truly love yourself?
We will take you on a quick journey to where you are all who are experiencing this moment that you are all co-creating. to a state of self-love. Take away the physical being. Take away the vehicle that you're driving through your life. That is all your physical being is. And then there are aspects of it that you appreciate, and there are likely many more that you do not appreciate. Take all that away. Be in your being, not this judgmental rat race that humanity has created, where one is too tall and one is too short and one is too fat and one is too thin and not rich enough and too poor and not in the right zip code or whatever it is. All of that stuff that is human construct. Take all of that out and think of the essence of what you really are. Think of yourselves as the entire universe. You are all of it. It is all in you as much as it is external. Think of yourselves as that. You are eternal beings having a very temporary human experience. And all of these teachings of humanity and all of these rules, what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to behave, what you're supposed to like, wash all that away. Just for a moment, just take all that away and just be. Understand that you are source. Understand that you are all expressions of that which we are. You are much more than this. This is your current choice. It's an experience that you're having that is a morsel in comparison to all that you are. And all of that judgment and all of that angst and all of that fear and all of that the anxiety around finance and keeping up and being healthy and living out the Instagram feeds that you follow and all of these things, take all that out of it, because all of that is the window dressing that is humanity. And humanity was intentionally imperfect from the get-go. Planet Earth intentionally imperfect, because that imperfection is perfection. Your flaws are your most brilliant assets. The outward physical beauty, the outward display of wealth, the reaching for the next thing, the next accomplishment, the grind, the manifestations, even all of that, that is humanity seeking to find joy in a manifestation of a thing or a condition or an event. But joy is available to you in your now, always. In zooming out to that high perspective that you all have access to, and understanding that you are love at your core. You are love, you are light, you are joy. And when you feel that about yourself, you feel that little zing of energy, that little movement. That is us. We are there all the time. We are always wanting to make contact. We are always wanting you to realize us. Stop expecting perfection. Stop expecting some miraculous, amazing, beautiful human event to come in and sweep you off your feet and make you finally happy. That is not happy. That is momentary, very human, very what you call 3D joy that comes and goes. Understand the greatest manifestation that you can possibly experience in physical is that oneness with self and that releasing of fear and that releasing of judgment. Because when you release fear and judgment and fully step into loving yourselves for the being that you are in your now, you are directly connected to our energy, to all that is. With much love, that is what we have.
Drop it. Bam. Welcome back. So for any of y'all that haven't taken Taya Boot Camp, I highly encourage you.
I'm laughing at you like, really, you're plugging Taya Boot Camp right now?
I'm serious. Tell them WG said Joe. Seriously, go and book your discovery session with David. David, pop up that little linky do right there.
I am too out of it to do all that right now. I'm just like feeling the power of everything that was pulled out of this interaction. Jeez, I just like.
It was a whopper. It was a whopper. It was good. It was good. Seriously. Morgan, thank you. Kim, thank you. Leanne, I miss you too, guys. Oh my God. By the way, I saw that. Joe, what's up? Shar, love it. Tough questions today, guys. Tough and great because we really.
I thought they were fantastic. What I saw, I don't know, or what I heard.
It was an explosion of truth and of resonation. And I'm really grateful for all of you today that have been present. I can promise you that when you really do take Taya, you learn how to step into your appreciation factor. Your appreciation factor is where it's at. It's just where it is. And I hope everyone caught the couple of glimpses of simplicity that were offered here today. One of the greatest things, I loved this, and this was, I don't know who asked this question, but it was so vague. And I love that they said, thank you for the answer to my purposefully vague question. Rockstar answers today. And Mr. John Fiore is in the house. John, I had the best memories coming up in my Facebook lately of John Fiore and I shredding it out there in Facebook Live land. I'm loving that. Again, you need to go take Taya Boot Camp, but this week
I'm dying laughing.
Just saying. Well, I just saying.
We have some other stuff coming up, and I do need to think about that. We have a healing masterclass in March. At the end of March, and we're doing a summit with the stream. The healing masterclass is free. And that is something that if we had a huge attendance to our last masterclass. It went on for 2 hours. It's supposed to be an hour, and there was like 130 people on. It was crazy. So our next masterclass is in March. If you were in I'm sorry, I can't think after I channel. If you were in the Taya Practice group, go and pay attention to the Taya Practice group. We will be updating the dates for this stuff. The Healing Masterclass is Saturday, March 27th from 9 a.m. Pacific to noon. So write that down, but we'll have more information and registration up soon in the Taya Practice group. And then something really exciting, sometime in April, we're doing a live summit with the stream where you can actually come on to a Zoom webinar with the stream and interact with the stream. And I don't have the date in front of me right now. I'm terrible at this stuff. But anyway, it's late in April. There is a fee to come onto that. I think it's $97 per person, but it's going to be limited. So you will be able to come on and be face-to-face with the stream. It's a 4-hour event with a break in the middle. Woo! So 4 hours of channeling and interacting with the stream.
That's crazy,
so it's the biggest summit that we've done so far. That's why we're calling it a summit. If you haven't seen one of our summits before, they're really, really cool. You're actually in the Zoom meeting. That summit is not going to be broadcast. It's something you come into and you participate in, and you're actually in the room with us, which is very different than the broadcast summits like what we just did, kind of a mini version of that. So you will be able to do that. Both of those things will be announced if you're on our email list. If you're not, you can go to thestreamofdavid.com and sign up for email, and you will be emailed links and all the information for both of those things. And if you're in the Facebook group, we're going to post in there about it as well. But those two things are coming up. Sorry, I don't have the date of the summit. It's in April, and it's toward the end of April, but I was thinking it was Saturday, but maybe it's not. The masterclass, though, is the March that I gave you, and that's something that's going to be free. And it's a healing masterclass specific toward healing, and that could be physical, emotional healing, traumatic healing. We're going to dig into all of that, and that's absolutely free to participate in that.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Got it all in. Thank you all so much for participating. I know we had a lot of people on at one point. That was the energy was fantastic. When I channel, I don't have a lot of memory of it, but I have some awareness. I know that the answers were fantastic. The love was flowing. and it was just a really, really good interaction. So thank you all so much. Be sure to share it if you can, wherever you are, and let everybody know about the stream. We appreciate it. And Debbie, I definitely appreciate you for coming on late and staying late. Gosh, almost an hour late at this point. And hosting, as always. It's fun to have you on.
I have a blast. I love you guys. Peace, man.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.